Yes. So our first speaker is Miss Folakemi. She's a trained nutritionist, currently exploring the path of public health. She holds a degree in human nutrition and is currently expanding her expertise in public health and communication. She has volunteered with various NGOs to support community-based nutrition, health education, and youth development. She's also the program manager for this webinar. Yes, so she helps coordinate, plan the sessions, and everything we've had since day one, that's yesterday and today. She's also known for her attention to detail, her empathy, and her passion for building communities that promote learning, growth, and well-being.
Hello, ma. We can't hear you anymore. In case you are speaking, I guess you are muted, or we can't hear you anymore.
Oh wow, sorry for that. Apologies. The second speaker, apologies please. Our second speaker is Olumoyiwa, and he serves at the Technology Department of FIRS, that's the Federal Inland Revenue Service, where he contributed meaningfully to national digital transformation and regional development initiatives. What sets him apart is his strategic and purpose-driven approach to NYSC. From grassroots initiatives to national relevance, he turned his service year into a launch pad for visibility, leadership, and sustainable impact. His story is a practical guide for core members who desire to make their service year count and build a future of value, service, and significance. Our third but not the least speaker. So if you were present yesterday, you remember him as the first speaker for yesterday's session, Olayinka. He is a passionate advocate for social impact, leveraging nutrition, education, and innovation to drive sustainable development and empower communities across Africa. Beyond nutrition, he designs and develops user-friendly websites that enhances digital experiences for professionals, businesses, and organizations. He has a strong foundation in nutrition and dietetics. He specializes in clinical, community nutrition, meal planning, nutritional analysis, and evidence-based dietary counseling. So these are the three speakers we have for this session. Please, a round of applause as we welcome them. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so our first question is directed at Miss Olakemi. Our first question is directed at Miss Folakemi. Can you tell us what were your expectations going into NYSC and how did reality compare to those expectations?
Okay, thank you so much, Deborah. What were my expectations for NYC and how did it turn out? So I would say that going for NYC, for me, I would say that sincerely, even from camp, um I just really wanted to volunteer first, because even from camp, I volunteered, I joined some groups. For me, I told myself that NYC, I wanted to enjoy it. That was what I said. I didn't want to. I've heard a lot of people say this and that about NYC, but for me, I told myself that I wanted to enjoy NYC. That was my decision from the very beginning. I said that no matter what it is, because I heard a lot that this location, this and this, it's not easy to get job, your PP and everything. But I made the decision from the start that first, um, I would have the right mindset to NYC. No matter what happens, I know that I'm going to turn out very well. That was just what was on my mind. And no matter what, I didn't even know that I'm going to go through some other things. But I just had the good faith that, see, everything is going to be fine. That was just it. I just made sure that I reached out to the right people. I reached out to my lecturers. I reached out to my friends and senior colleagues. And um, I would say that my reality with the mindset I had from the beginning, it turned out really well, to be very sincere. It turned out really well, because I just had this good mindset that NYC, I'm going to enjoy it and not go through any unnecessary stress. But to be sincere, they were stressed. I was stressed. I had a lot of issues and all that. I could not even speak to people. But I would really say that the mindset I had before going for NYSC really, really helped me personally. I can say that it really, really helped me. And my reality can show for it, to be very sincere. I can say that there are things that because I had the right mindset, because I was just so sure that no matter what I will survive, no matter what I will survive, because I was scared. No, I was very, very scared, because I made a lot of decisions personally, and I must say that it turned out really well for me. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Okay. So you reached out to the right people. You had the right mindset before going in. You wanted to enjoy it, and you actually did. That's really great. My second question goes to Olumuyiwa. What was the toughest challenge you faced during the service year, and how did you overcome it? The toughest challenge and how you overcame it.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Please confirm you can hear me.
Yes, we can.
All right, thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. My name is Muiwa, and it's good to be here. So, thank you very much for the question. So, I believe the question specifically turned me towards the toughest challenge I had, right? Because I kind of face different challenges, and I would want to try as much as possible to highlight certain challenges so that two out of those toughest challenges, right? So, and because those two are really, really tough. The first one is the getting of accommodation. The other one is getting a PPA. Those are real basic issues you face as a core member. Usually when you get a place where you don't know, or if you get a place where it's a place like this place, Abuja, because I serve in Abuja. So the first one was the place of accommodation, and so normally when I got the instruction to come to Abuja, like it was so clear that she come to Abuja. I didn't know how God was going to do it, and I was going to just so I spoke to someone that, oh guy, I would like to come to your place and stay for my NYC and stuff. I said no problem. So, and mind you, most of my conversation answering my question will be more of stories, and trust me, pick the one that aligns so well with you then. So when he told me that okay, everything is alright, I can come. So I came around to Abuja. I dropped my bag at this place. I went to camp because I camped at Nasarawa. I was dislodged in Nasarawa. So I camped at Nasarawa, and I gave up when I came back from camp. The issue I faced was that we were in the house first day, second day. On the third day, just like that, there's no space again. Like you have to travel and you might not be able to stay here. And it was a whole lot of issue. Like forget we can even laugh at it now. there was a whole lot of issue. I needed to start calling home or teaching anybody in Abuja I can stay with because I didn't even plan to actually get an accommodation, you know. So yeah, it just happened that every other thing just went really, really south. So but fast forward to it, right? I said earlier that I come to Nasarawa and there in Nasarawa I took some leadership role, which was I was a hostel leader, I took some certain roles there, right? But through that, right, there are certain things that happened. Certain people had opportunity to meet on those platforms, right? And so fast forward to so usually when I look for a place to stay, I really wouldn't get a place to stay. I'm sorry, when I look for a PP, I was going through the same issue at that time. I was rejected in the place where I was posted. So I was going around looking for PPA and sorry, I'm trying to meet up my time. Looking around going for PPA, looking for PPA. So usually in the afternoons when I'm tired, I'll just go to the NYC secretariat, so sit down there. So there was this particular person that I've actually always been seeing me there. So he just asked me one day, he was like, Governor, why are you always here? I know. So as a strong guy that I am, I didn't want to open up very quickly, right? But I got a leading to actually open up. So when I told him, and he just told me that you're a good guy now. You can stay with me, right? So then that's how it happened. Place of accommodation for the PPA, right? Where I was posted initially was Federal Housing Authority, but they said they don't need copper, they don't want copper. And usually someone will say that Oga has taken the slot. So you guys usually when you're posted to a particular place, it's possible that you need to know somebody. Yeah, usually it's common around here, right? So but trust me, how I got in, it was through the same person that I got in. And trust me, what I want to say is that during the course of getting those things, it came quite easy that way because of that some conduct have actually played out during the course of being in camp. And this is a word from the person that actually helped me. He actually told me that it was because of how I've actually acted myself in camp that he felt this person is a comfortable person to actually spend the time with, and which was why this whole thing happened. That was able to help me with this thing. So I think I'll stop here. I think it's great for now. Thank you. So those are like issue I faced, and I guess my how I faced it was more like how I've conducted myself when I didn't know someone was watching. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your response. I think it aligns with what our first speaker had said, the way you prepare and present yourself. So you said the challenge was solved through someone that knew you in camp. So if the person had not seen your character, it's possible they wouldn't have helped you get the accommodation and PPA. I'm glad it worked out at the end. At least you can tell a story about it now. Yes. So our third question goes to Olainka. Can you tell us how NYC influenced your mindset, your career path, or life choice, if it did for any of them?
Okay, yeah, thank you so much. And thanks to everyone who's spoken ahead of me. Okay, so I know some of you were commenting yesterday, it's fair and all of that, right? And so the thing is, for me, mine was growth. And so primarily NYC influenced my mindset, the career path, and then life choices. And so primarily I'm going to say that in the fullest form, NYC itself was just an umbrella to influence those parts of my life, right? And so because remember we were speaking about location, places, and people and all of that, and NYC was just a pathway for me to reach out to people, connect with people, be in the right be in the right set of people as well, and then the things about location as well. And so in regard to mindset, like I said, NYC is that umbrella to cover up the entire thing that brings it into limelight because through NYC, I got to meet people that in our conversations, I got to see life through a different point of view, right? I had come to Abuja twice. One time was in my primary school for a competition, and the other time was for a conference. And then coming from the West and all of that, and then to a degree, the subtle exposure with some of my friends, some of the people I camped with, some of the people that were younger than me, and then I could see some of the things they were doing, and so it just gave me the opportunity to see that, come on, guy, they are not small. There are things you still can do as well, right? And in regard to career path, I was able to work in the hospital. I'm a nutritionist. I had the choice to work in the clinical field or in the public health space. So I remember that time, one of my friends here too, it was like I could have chosen the other pathway, right? But the clinical pathway exposed me to other things as well, where I got to see some things about the so that is the word how free life can be as well. So that was one of the things that influenced my career path as well. And so to a degree, I have the balance between public health and clinical field as well. And in regard to life choices, yeah, NYC did influence my life choices as well because that's 1 year of your life, like one good year of your life. And so it's just like NYC is just the umbrella. And so the thing is, for some persons, NYC can bring that negative vibe to them as well. But it depends on how you now maximize that 1 year span of your life to see that it cuts across respective sectors of your life. And in regard to life choices as well, I'd met people, I'd made friends, made connections in camp. I'd made connections with some people that I just spoke with in camp, and then um while we may not speak on regular terms, we have that connection that in times to come, because of one or two things we've done together, you can quote and unquote, let's say you get to one point in life and you're like, oh no, no, I know somebody in that sector. And then if you're going to draw it back, it was true NYC. And then in life choices too, I know some of you are expecting to talk about the subject of affair and all of that, right? It's part of it, right? I met people that would stay in my life for forever, met people that will stay in my life for times and times, and then you're grateful to God that your paths did cross as well with them. So yeah, so in regards to NYC, it did influence my mindset, my career path, and life choices because NYC was just that umbrella for which God was going to use to make all of that happen. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for that. So NYC is an umbrella, cuts across a lot of areas. You're able to meet people that and build long-lasting relationships with them. You're able to get different perspectives, other people's view on life. That's a great thing. Plus, Ife, I think we'll leave that for another day. So my fourth question goes to Ms. Folakemi. What moments, what experiences did you have during service that stood out for you the most?
Okay, thank you so much, Deborah. I would say that what experience stood out the most for me is the help that I receive from my community. I would say that has really helped me and that has stood out for me during my NYC journey. To be very sincere, the help I've received for people has helped me a lot. And just like I think it was part of the conversation yesterday, the importance of community. And I would say that that has really helped my journey in NYC. There are so many things that um people have helped me. Like I would say that I've enjoyed the benefit of community. And so one thing that stood out for me in my journey in NYC, I can just say that I can round it up to people. People have helped me, people have supported me, people have spoken on my behalf. Um People have opened doors for me, basically. That's what I would say. And um it just I don't know, I'm trying to even give like an example. Okay, yes, I would even talk about how my lecturers have spoken on my behalf even while I'm not there. And I served in Abuja, I schooled in Ibadan, and then my lecturer in Ibadan is talking about that kind of thing. So I can say that the community of people have really helped me and they've saved me a lot from making mistake, from spending beyond my means and all of that. So I would say that community of people is very, very important. Like it just makes things it just makes things easy for us, and it really made things easy for me personally. I had times where I would want to think about something that how would I do this and that, but I have friends. I have friends that I can speak to and tell them, okay, this and this is happening, and then we encourage each other, we support each other. And so I would say that one major thing that helped my NYC journey is the community of people that I had, my inner circle. They really, really helped me. They really, really helped me for my PPA, my staying in my location. I would say that the community of people really, really helped me, and it just makes me want to do better to people, want to like do better for others, because I've seen how people have helped me. I've seen how people have showed up for me, how they've done a lot for me, even behind my back and all of that. And so one major moment or experience that stood out for me in my NYC journey is the community of people that God has really placed in my life, that God has helped me with. So yes, I think that is one thing I'm going to talk about. Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much. The keyword there is community. So wherever you go, have a community of people. The community starts from the people you know, the numbers you have on your phone, people you speak to, the relationship you cultivate. And you cannot have that if you do not speak to people. I guess that's where networking comes into place. Yes. Miss Toluwani, please, do you have anything to add for the questions we've asked so far? Do you have anything you want us to?
Uh, no, I don't. Sorry, hold on. Uh, no, I don't. I would indicate if I have anything to add. Thank you.
All right, thank you. So moving on to the next question. Odunwiwa, what do you wish you knew before NYC? And what mistakes should new core members avoid? What do you wish you knew before NYC? And what mistakes should new core members avoid?
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. The question says that what do I wish I knew before NYSC, and what mistakes should new member avoid? So, what do I think? What do I wish I knew after NYSC? So, um, I wish before NYSC I knew that the time was so fast. So, trust me, at the beginning of NYC, I was so ambitious in the sense that I, I'm someone who is so very passionate about social impact, very, very passionate about social impact and a lot, right? And really, I had in mind of carrying out some massive project, social impact project. Like I really wanted to bring the heaven down on like that. But then um, my PPA didn't give me the opportunity, or should I say, because of my relevancy in my PPA, I really couldn't do as much as. Although I tried, I think I did try. So before NYC, I really wished that someone had told me that the time runs faster. So if there's anything I needed to do, or I make my mind to do, I should start now. So what am I trying to say now? This is me coming as an advice to you that okay, have you proposed in your mind that okay, during your NYC, I want to start a business. During your NYC, I want to reach out to some set of people. I want to during my NYC, I want to start writing application to submit for maybe scholarship and all. One thing you should know is that the time run faster than you think. So if there is anything you propose to want to use this 1 year for, today is the best day to start. If you are going to forget every other thing I'm going to say, this particular thing, don't forget that today is the best time to start. Today, you should start it. So because the time runs faster than you think. And another thing is, people are watching. What do I wish I knew? I never knew people are watching. So these are like some personal stuff I probably will be unveiling here, right? So in where I serve here in FIRS, right? There is this notion. If you check my LinkedIn, I wrote a whole lot of episode about how that my PP is quite different from what I thought it used to be. So usually government work, right? We assume that it is usually a place where people don't work and all. Yeah, it is actually true. Very, very true. Very, very true. But in my own office, it's quite different. How that people put in to do their work, whether more than you would have even expected, right? But literally, the same spirit I met there, I keep up with the same spirit. And our first speaker spoke about, he said something around that there are a lot of mediocres. Like people who are naturally Nigerians now. Let's not even lie. Sorry, I don't want to generalize. Like most of Nigeria, most of us, right? Most of us, right? We really get so comfortable with little things, um and one thing I've built in my own self is to be different. Anywhere you find me, you always see my work to be different. And because of that, I do my work very well. So if I'm going to do anything in the office, everybody knows that okay, it's going to come out excellently. Right? I don't mind spending more time than that. So I never knew people were watching. So people were watching around how that I'm managing my social impact work, even with office work and all. And literally I I got recommendation for certain things I never expected. Also, I got so I'm also a photographer, right? I got some photography job that people, because of the excellence they see in what I do in the office, they assume or they're able to come to a conclusion that yeah, you are going to be also be excellent. So people are able to give me high recommendation of certain things. Um, I'm closing a deal of some millions with my organization, not directly me, right? More like I'm a middleman. So these things actually come. Sorry, I just have to share that, right? So that you can see that it is not about that all your work is actually not your work, what your intentionality you're putting to work and what they are not actually going in it, right? Somebody is actually watching. So first of all, I talked about connection. It's very, very essential. You don't joke with um connection. Sorry, I said connection, networking, and it's your work that will really tell the world what you are and all. So I really just have a lot to say, and this time constantly, but enough, sir. Just so that people are watching, one, and know that you are going to do anything you are putting your hand to do excellently. Let them see that this person is different. He may not speak for you immediately now, but times, years will come, and somebody will be able to say, I know this guy when he was 7. He is very, very diligent. I know 90% of people in my office or around in that office could tell that I really put my mind to what I do, and I do it very excellently. So yeah, those 2 points. If you want more, send a DM. I'll tell you more. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think that point about time running so fast is very true. Because even for me, it just feels like I started service yesterday and today I'm done. So time runs really, really, really fast. People are watching. Whatever you do, do it well. Also, just to add to that, what I wish I knew before going into service. I wish I had planned everything before going to service and not leaving everything to chance. So have a plan before you go in. What do you want to achieve? Do your research, especially for CDS. If you have an idea, if there is something you want to do for the community, have it well structured before you go in. You There's a high chance you always meet people that are like-minded like you, and together you can bring that idea to reality. Yes. Our last but not the least question is for Layinka. So, in your view, do you think NY still serves its purpose today?
Okay. All right. So, Pastor, sorry, I saw something that just caught me off guard. Okay. So the thing is, if we're going to be honest, right, the dream or vision of NYC that came in limelight around 1975 or so, if I'm correct, during Gowon's time. you may want to argue that while the war was one of those things that brought everybody into that was the word agreement to come together, and then you may look as if the primary purpose for the establishment had gone, right? And then even if you're going to compare the several disadvantages that the NYC scheme has brought into play, kidnapping, death experiences, trauma experiences, and I need to focus, right? And apart from trauma experiences, you can see the respective problems that NYC has brought into limelight as well. And then if we're only going to focus on all of that, I remember being on a particular chat on Twitter, and then I had quite a number of people saying there was no point, you should scrap NYC. And then one time I sat down to calculate, okay, 77,000 times how many persons? For instance, my batch were around 10,000 individuals in Abuja. And so it depends on how we see it, right? Because I know that primarily some of the core goals for NYC is to promote national unity and integration and all of that. And I think that still happens, right? Where we have national unity and integration, different persons from respective states coming together. You're in a camp for 3 weeks. I think it still does. And I know another thing was reconciliation and reconstruction. While that happened a long time ago, I think it still happens as well. And another thing was to address skill shortages and inculcate discipline while developing skills and services. And I think that for people who know, let's just use that particular statement, when the purpose of the thing is known, the abuses exactly. So I think for people who primarily know why NYC was kept into place, to a degree, it informs their 1 year experience. So I can boldly say that, yeah, it's it's still in play, right? The purpose for which it was created is still at work. It's evolving as well, and it brings that opportunity to people getting skills and all of that. Even if sometimes in camp, those skills that they do sometimes are not even short of it, right? I know people who have learned, I know someone who has learned pressing art, got it from camp. I know people who have, through the purpose of promoting national unity and integration, definitely, even if they are going to give you 500,000 if you get married to an NYC member, it's still something important in purpose and fulfillment of life, right? And then when it comes to reconciliation, it happens. We've seen, I remember that time I was in camp and then we're voting for our CDS governor. And then we saw out that of the truth, it was not about tribe because we had quite a number of places. And so we saw the people that were voted into place and we could learn that honestly, this is not about tribal wars and all of that, right? And development of skills. Yeah, I've seen, I know one of us on the call, in my CDS as well as Muiwa and Co, had a skill training for people as well, NYC. So yeah, it does all of that, right? And so we can boldly say that to a degree, if we're going to be honest with ourselves, that NYC actually gave that opportunity to the primary purpose for which it was created. And you understanding all of that brings you to that point where you maximize the entire 1 year scheme, maximize that 1 year time. So do your assignment, check what NYC is for, meet your supposed better half, and get that 1 year value, get the skill set, and then do everything that you would want to see that you actually align with the purpose for which NYC was created. So know the purpose of it, and let's say for me, I would say that it's still achieving the goals for which it was created and is evolving as well. You just have to key into it and make the maximum use of it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So for everyone that has decided somewhere in their hearts that NYC doesn't have impact anymore, I hope you've changed your mind now. NYC is still fulfilling its purpose, is still doing what it was meant to do. Just have to make up your mind. So thank you so much to all our speakers. We've come to the end of the panel session. Okay, Mr. Luwani, you have something to add?
I just wanted to talk about, just also shed more light on, is NYSC still valuable now? It's a question I hear a lot. A lot of my friends don't think it is. Honestly, when it comes to the governmental structure of how it can be. I think it can be much better, and the curricula, the whole structure can be it can be adaptive into recent times. I think they can do better with their whole structure, the whole thing basically. But one thing I want everybody to know about NYC is that NYC is an incubator. They are As an incubator, it's an opportunity for you to do things you probably would have not done before if you didn't do NYC. Personally, I would definitely share a personal story. I was my platoon head, I was assistant platoon head. And this is me. I was initially a very socially awkward person. If I don't know how to pretend. If you are not my guy, I don't know. I could not pretend. But that was obviously maybe a social flaw because you need to network to get some opportunities. You need to network to make good friends. The time they called who wants to be a platoon leader, I came out and I did not know what I was going to face. But at the end of the day, I made very good friends. I made very good friends. I stretched myself to the capacity of a leader. And some of the people that I know, some of the things I knew from them was how I was able to even take my next move. For example, I needed clarity on whether I was going to apply to NMPC graduate program. For example, yeah, I needed clarity on that. I needed clarity on which career path exactly pays the most based on where I'm coming from. Because I had questions. I did microbiology. I wasn't very interested in doing completing the microbiology. But because I had formed a network of people in NYSC who are also on their own journey, I was informed. So that's one of the very good things NYC will give you. It gives you that network, lifelong network. It gives you the ability to be able to incubate your leadership. It also allows you to do a test run on what would be a work experience, which is why I always advise people to take it seriously. If you are drafted to a workplace to do NYC, a lot of key things that will happen in your life usually stems from that place. That's if you end up doing it early or whenever you do it. Basically, I just feel to add that. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that addition. Miss Gloria, our speaker for yesterday, is also on the call. Did you have anything to add concerning this topic?
Oh, currently, I don't think I have anything to add. I'm so sorry. I'm actually engaged in something else. That's why. I'm so sorry.
All right. Thank you. So please, does anyone have any question? We have only a few minutes to go. So if you have any question, please indicate by raising your hand, your virtual hand, or you text it on the group, on the chat. Sorry. Okay, Miss Deborah, your hands are raised. Can you go in 1 minute, please? Your
Good
question.
evening, everyone. Um, okay, first, I want to apologize. I don't know if it has been addressed before because I joined the call, but I had to attend to something. So, I asked the question yesterday, but I was not, there was no time, so the question was not addressed. So, the first major issue is actually my CDS group. I actually looked forward to CDS before NYSC. But because we're not given the opportunity to choose, I was just randomly given a CDS that I'm sorry to say, but even the executives are not even helping matters. They don't behave like they know what the CDS is about. So we just come basically to mark attendance and they make it very compulsory. So it just feels like a waste of time. And I look forward to it because I wanted to embark on projects, um, community based, youth empowerment related, things like that. But I was unable to do that. I mean, based on the kind of CDS that I'm in. So I wanted to ask if anyone had a similar experience, how did you go about it? And then I also wanted to embark on projects either individually or as a group. Like even if CDS was not going to give me that platform, but coincidentally, I happen to be in a PPA that demands my attention 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily, and it's very far from where I stay. So I spend an hour, 30 minutes on the road before I return. And my boss is I don't want to say he's a workaholic, but I get to work even when I return home at night and before I go to work in the morning. So I literally do not have time for myself. Sometimes I have to go to work on Saturdays. So it's not like what becomes of me. I'm growing here, I'm learning where I'm working, but every other thing I wanted to do, I'm not able to do it. How do I go about this?
Okay, thank you for that. Olumiwa, can you please help answer that?
Why did you choose me now? All right, Deborah, that was very, very profound question. And yeah, that was really, really profound question. The first question, the second question, amazing. And I literally can relate to that. I can relate because I have friends who are also in the same shoes. So and this is one of the reasons why we organize this program, right? So just to be informed. I got informed. That was what he said. A friend of mine would say, an informed man will make informed decision, or informed child will make informed decision. Um, it's so what it means to say that is that earlier before I went to camp, right, I was been informed about, okay, if you want a CDS, right, there are certain CDS you should go for, and with the kind of person I am, the person have told me, okay, for a project based one, you could go for SDG, and SDG usually are always they always start their class from in Abuja from camp. So that was why I already chose that. So actually helped me skip from that issue of that, right? So but in a situation where you're already in the CDS, you can't change you almost cannot change your CDS. So at that time, what I would always advise is if you are the kind of person who is so passionate about maybe you would want your CDS group to actually make impact, or should I say you don't just like you said, you guys just go in there and assign just to sign and go. Yeah, if you are the kind of person that you want to really, really make it, just look for like-minded individuals. Like-minded individuals, because at that moment you're not in a position of power to carry everybody to wherever you want to do, right? You are just a member of the CDS. But look for like-minded guys. Okay, we have 5 persons who also want to. Why don't you why don't you guys come up with project? Okay, maybe your project is more. I hear a lot of CDS group and they sound so nice, but really they don't do anything here. I think I've heard of please someone should give me one example. I've heard of
No,
the one
we
that
will
talks
not give
about
you.
financial I saw one financial education or something. So for CDS like that, that was a very amazing, that's a very, very amazing CDS to actually come on with project for. So you and your team member, you and people you want to come together, okay, what do we do? Can we go to schools and do this in a month? We want to go to a school for a number of three financial inclusion, God bless you. We want to go to a number of school. Okay, in this month, I want to go to one school, next month to go to one school. We just go and teach them about financial inclusion. Trust me, there are certain advantages this uniform will give you. There's some certain places you would enter with this uniform, but you can't enter it without this uniform. There's some projects I would have loved to carry out that I've carried out while I was in the uniform. I could not. Now that I have the time to do that, I can't because I don't represent a particular body. So schools will be skeptical about giving you the chance to actually come in. Do you get? So try as much as possible to gather like-minded people. And you guys should brainstorm on the program. Okay, you be our project manager. Look at this program that was organized, right? It's just a group of friends that actually thought of, okay, let's tell people coming behind us and let's come together and do this. So if it's not as though this thing is under, although we are almost all the same under the same SDG CDS group, but this was not on the umbrella of CDS group. We just noticed that we have like-minded people that could come together and solve this problem this way. Do you get it? So talking about your other stuff, right? I guess one of the reasons why this one of the why the moderator wants me to actually answer this question because I am actually in the same shoe. See, I literally will leave office almost every day at 8 p.m., 9 p.m. One, because where God actually got me to get accommodation to is just a 10 minutes walk from my house. from the office, so it makes it well. And also, but in my own case, it was quite different because after the office time, right, every other thing I have to do are personal work, so I stay behind. So I can maybe say I understand a little about staying back, especially where you stay very far from where you live. So institutions like that, you literally know for sure that you have a limited time to yourself. So in that situation, why don't you look into your time management and time management in the sense that you want to carry a project, right? You want to carry a project. Right? Can you try as much as possible to look into how that you know that okay, the only free time you have away from office is on that CDS day because I don't expect your boss to tell you to come on that day, no matter what. So in that situation, right, do a plan of would I say a number of months plan towards a grand project, a big project you want to work on, or just use that moment, that day to actually do this because sincerely, in as much we want to do this, right? You want to do what you want to do, you want to carry out this project, you have to also be very known as a diligent person at work. So you just need to find a way to balance it. And that was why I suggested when you see this, you could make instead of going back home after CDS, try move around, move around and go to make inquiries on that project you want to carry out. And let me tell you, as as easy as project may sound, or should I say as simple as um advocacy, a project around advocacy on a certain topic, as easy as it may sound, it is recorded as a project because now you're sharing what you know towards other people. Even if so I don't know what CDS group you're in and what you're interested in, but let me just stop here. I guess we know Annie has something to say. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Miss Oluwani, do you want to add something to this question?
Yes, I do. I listened to you, Deborah, and from from what you said, I could tell that you have a heart of it. You have a good heart. You are desire to serve and make your world better, your life better. And I just want to say well done, really well done, because what the kind of work you're putting into your PPA, wow. But here's what I want to say. You must learn the art of creating boundaries. So as much as I loved my work in during NYSC, during CDS days, you will not see me. You won't see me in the office. And this is something I don't know. Can you unmute and speak? Um when
Yeah.
how many months now have you been in your CD in your NYSC?
I'm in batch 8 too, so this is just like the second month of
Second
working.
month, perfect. Perfect. So you're not too far gone. So can you mute? I think you're having feedback. You're not too far gone, so you can set boundaries. Um you can communicate to your leader, your team lead. First of all, I will not lie to you. If it's something, don't start something you can't complete. Something like working in the morning before you get to work, you will burn out. I am 100%. That's the truth. You will burn out. You can do your work diligently well without tilting towards burnout. So first of all, set boundaries. Let them know the time that you're not going to be at work, which is on your CDS days. So you can also use that day to distress and focus on plan because you can actually just be an autopilot engine and then at the end of the year you've not achieved anything substantial. You just kept on working. You were just busy. So it's very important that you install boundaries. Let your leaders know that your CDS requires that you're going to be there till like 2 p.m., 3 p.m. and that means you cannot come to work. I know that might sound scary to you, but it's better than if you don't try at all. Set boundaries, try as much as possible to also prioritize your mental health. And what that means is that try as much as possible to keep within the if you I don't know if your organization has a fixed time that you work. If they say it's 9 to 5, my dear, try as much as possible. I'm trying to be careful with my words now. There will be seasons that demand that you work during the weekend. Let's say you guys are trying to work on a project, but Doing that consistently, my dear, you will burn out. So set boundaries, communicate with your leaders. Tuesday is a no-no for you. That's your CDS, because you have to actually be at work. Weekends, you have to try as much as possible communicate, especially if you have something to do. Weekends might be hard for you communicate, because if you go and burn out, the first person that would suffer it is you. So set boundaries. That's the key in managing all of this. That's just the simple answer. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I hope your question was answered.
Yes, it was. Thank you.
Okay. We have 4 more questions. Okay, please make it as short as possible so that we can finish on time. I think the first person is Emmanuel Ayodele. Please, can you?
All right. Good evening.
We cannot hear you. Oh, I can't hear you. Can you just type it instead?
Can you hear me now?
Okay, yes, we can.
All right. So, first question I would love to ask is, I'd love to know more about CPO 4010 tools, because I've been hearing it over and over and over, but I don't think I everything it entails, the everything about it. That's first. And then the second question, I think one of the panelists talked about being assistant platoon leader. So I would love to ask that, being a platoon leader or assistant platoon leader, can it make it something that does not really align with you? I hope you get the question.
You sounded muffled. Can you repeat the question?
Okay. The
You
second
said being
question,
a
right?
team leader, yes.
All right. So like being a platoon leader or assistant platoon leader, can you make you do something that does not really align with?
I think your network is poor. He said, can it make you do something that does not align with? I didn't hear that part.
I think I will just type it.
Yeah, that's better. Thank you.
As he's typing, Emmanuel Olayinka, please, can you ask your question? Emmanuel Olayinka, are you with us?
All right. Am I audible enough? Am I audible? Can we hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh my God. Okay. All right. Good. Thank you. Yes. My question is directed to Miss Toluwani Alade, and it's on yes. I would like you to now, for us intending corpers or current serving corpers, what should we really look forward to during our service here? Yes, especially between these two things. People say, okay, there's a general saying that says, at least we should go for impact, go for experience, go for knowledge and all that. Most importantly, I'm talking about specifically on the area of our PPA now. Should we really say, okay, what I'm really looking for is experience, knowledge. Okay, I'm not really, my high is not really on the money, not really on probably getting money where I'm being my PPA. What should we really go for? What should be the priority? What should be the priority in case maybe you are posted somewhere that, and then you are not really paying, and you talk about investment. Many corpers do want to finish well, and then at least can say, okay, yes, I've been able to save this, I've been able to amount to this, and then these are the things I've been able to cover even through my years of service. And then what should we really go for? What should be our priority, basically, during our service here? And my second question is directed to bro Fiola Inka. Like for professionals, for professional courses like engineering, those in the medical lines, should we really trust it? But sure, will be posted. After camp, we posted to for our PPA for primary assignment. Should we really, let's say for example now, Ham posted to let's say Delta State, and I don't really know. Okay, I don't really know so much about. Okay, I'm a civil engineer. I don't really know so much about companies, civil engineering consulting firms there and all. Should I really trust the posting, or what do I do? How much more can we trust it? I mean, for professional courses now, how much more should we trust the posting of a thing and how? I think I don't know if my question is well gotten. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. I think before our speakers respond, we'll take the other questions so that they can be answered together. Miss Precious, or yes, can you ask your question?
Good evening, everyone. Thank you
Good
very
evening.
much for the wonderful session. I mean, I have learned a lot right now. I'm grateful for the speakers and everyone that spoke today. Okay, now my question is coming from the angle. I noticed that a lot of the speakers spoke about community. They spoke about making connections and meeting people of like minds. So I wanted to ask a question. What are the three strategies that can help to actually connect with people that are like-minded, people that want to that they are on the verge of advancing their careers? Like, how can we connect with them? Because I wanted to also be clarified. Was it during camp? Because I know that there is a 3 weeks camp that they do before they do the PPA for the assigned to your PPA. Is it during camp that you connected, or it was during your PPA? And even during your PPA, because depending on the course you study or where they post you, you might not necessarily, you might be the only, not necessarily the only one, but what if you are the only one that actually has that drive? Like, how do you connect with other coppers? Yeah, that's just my question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Victor, please can you ask your question?
Okay. Good evening, everybody. So, firstly, I want to thank all the speakers for teaching us and all the information that you're giving us. I'm so happy. I've learned a lot. So, basically, I want to ask about the leadership aspect in NYSC. Um, During my time in uni, though I just graduated, and then I served in various positions. Even I was the president of my department then, and you see that most times the leadership in department is based on the the impact that they see in you. But then I want to know if the same thing in NYSC, if it's based on impact or based on politics, so that I don't know if it's worth going for or what's looking forward to do when I get there. And secondly, I want to ask about how it's possible to manage your time as a leader in NYSC with your personal goals. Because there's this friend of mine I have, he's currently serving, and I think he's a CDS president. And then most times he tells you that because of his NYSC work, that some of his personal goals are suffering, which I don't really think is cool. So I don't know. Is there like I just need tips on how people that have been there manage their time by doing NYSC leadership and still their personal stuffs.
Okay, thank you. Before we take the last questions, please, we need you all to do something for us. There are some links in the messages. There are the links to our partner or sponsor organizations. Please kindly follow them. Their Instagram links, Facebook links, Substacks, X or Twitter. Please follow them. Follow them. Engage those pages. Thank you. for doing that. Okay, we'll take the last question. Can you unmute and ask your question?
Because of time, can we just have them type the questions in the chat, including people that have asked before, so we can easily reference it?
I think
Yeah,
she's
sorry, good
only
evening, everyone.
okay.
Good evening, everyone. I didn't know I'm not unmuted. Yeah, I would like to thank all the speakers for the session. It was really informative and really, really insightful for me. My question is actually directed to Mr. Olumuyiwa. He was talking about him being very excellent at his PPA and how a lot of people actually recognize his work and all. So my question is that um how do you, what if you don't, like, maybe when you're posted to you, you don't have any field knowledge about it or anything. So how do you become excellent in that kind of environment? Like how do you adapt fast and everything? Because it's just and like you said, time really goes fast, and then for you to be actually excellent at it, you must have spent a lot of time and everything. So as your PPA, how do you actually, like, be excellent at whatever task you are given? So that's my question. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. So we'll start with Miss Toluwani. Can you please help us answer the questions directed to you?
Okay, I would read the first one that was in the chat by Emmanuel. He said, being a platoon leader or assistant platoon leader, can it allow me to do what does not align with my faith? Or does it compromise you to do what doesn't align with your faith? Probably some of the activities in each platoon. Hmm. You'll be tempted, and temptation doesn't just come even in this kind of circle. It comes everywhere. Can you guys hear me? I think someone is unmuted, so I'm having feedback. Yeah. What you are going to do that will help you, and something that helped me was I consistently reaffirmed my principles, and I connected myself to someone who was or who shared my faith. Someone who I knew that that person is not in leadership, and the person is principled. That was my own hack. I connected myself to the person. There was just because I connected myself to the person, there was an influence the person had on me. So because I was a leader, obviously I had to play politics, meaning that I needed to, if you need people to come and participate for your platoon, you need to be able to convince them, you need to be able to influence them to join your platoon. You need to be able to allow command respect to in a way. So I had to play some politics, and one of the things I did was align myself with the influential people in the platoon. So I will not call it friends, but I became very cordial with them. And I also showed up properly. That was another thing. So it was a two-way thing. I aligned myself to with them to be able to influence policies or influence actions in my platoon, because you cannot be the only one that they'll be listening to. And I connected with someone that was of my own principles too, my faith and principles. Because obviously on camp, you will know it's not everybody that you meet that will be share your values. And as believers, you must also learn contact without contamination, because you will not always be sent into a field where everybody is harmless. I had people, because obviously I'm a lady, a beautiful one at that. I had people make advances at me, try to touch me in very funny ways, and I took my stance. I took my stand. I always was reminded of my principles. I attached myself to someone and people who shared my principles, and I made sure to attend service. That also helps me. You can be telling yourself that you're a child of God, you are on the battlefield and you don't know, and you are not in the congregation where the word of God can be entering your ear and your heart. So all of those things, that's how I managed it. So I didn't have to fall into activities that were not good per se. Also, just learn contact without contamination. You cannot force your ideologies on some of these people too. You have to learn a way to work with them in a very diplomatic manner. Set boundaries. There are things you will not do with them, you know, and all. So the next question I'm going to try and answer was, I think was another Emmanuel that asked. It was like, what should we focus on? What should be your priority for service here? Should it be money? Should it be experience? Should it be impact? Um, this is based on the size of your goal and if it is clear to you at the time. So let's say you finish school but you didn't go for NYC immediately. Someone who finished school and didn't go for NYC immediately is different from someone who finished school and went to NYC immediately. It's very possible that someone who finished school and didn't go for NYC immediately has gathered some experience, has walked the adult world, and has learned responsibility, and so things are clearer for them. So let's say I started in 9 to 5 1 year after I didn't immediately do NYC. Now I've understood, I've to a large extent I've understood how to work with people. I have questioned what do I really want to do in life. So let's say my answer is I want to get a scholarship. I want to get master's scholarship at some point. At that point in time, what would now be important for me to build with NYC? Because NYC is a label. What is really in NYC is 1 year of your life that you can use judiciously or waste. So just because it's titled NYC doesn't mean that you have to NYCfy it in the sense of I'm just gonna do anyhow. Should be just NYC. It's 1 year of your life. So if your goal is to eventually get a master's, then your priority in a scholarship master, let's say for example, Chevening or any of these other scholarships that provides scholarship bodies that provide full masters, right? Then your priority at this point should be aligning yourself with an organization that gives you experience. Your priorities can combine one another. It doesn't also have to be, oh, just experience and no money. But if you find a place that, look, this place, the experience you need in the next, it will really ramp up your CV, that where you're going to is very essential for you to have that experience. And you might have to focus on that experience and not prioritize money. Now, there'll be also some times where you have to also be very, very, very logical. So let's say where you're coming from is really far from your PPA, or okay, let's say you've not gotten a PPA, yeah, at this point. Sometimes you might find that some of these factors you can't control it. For example, what if I get a PPA that's really far from my house? I cannot survive on just I think NYC is now paying 70. I think it's now, you guys please confirm, is it now 70? Because by the time was 30K. Yeah, okay, 70K. So how will I survive financially in a way that my transport fare will be covered, and if I'm not living with family, I can survive in a very lean manner? Because like I said, this period is also a period for you to really ramp up experience, especially if you don't have experience before you started NYC. So that now influences your decision. I was once offered a role that was going to pay me a very, very nasty amount of money. And the reason why I'm saying it's nasty is because the amount of work they wanted me to do, they really wanted to kill me. And I I said no, respectfully. So you have to put all of those things in. It's really according to the scale of your goals. When you see who you want to be in the next 2 years, it will inform what you should prioritize. 100%, you can always factorize these three things when you are trying to get a PPA or make a decision. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your response. I hope it has answered the questions. So for the other questions, apologies, we will not be able to answer them on this call, but the answers will be sent to the group, to the WhatsApp group. So if you're not on the group, I think the chat link has been mailed to you. So the remaining 4 questions will be responded to on the chat. Thank you all so much for staying to the end of the program. We hope you didn't just come and you're going like that. You got a lot of value that will influence how your service year is going to go. And for those